Holy ho, neighborinos. This is kind of an off-the-cuff video because a guy has commented on my highbrow neck fix video, Titans Return highbrow. A guy, I believe, off the top of my head because I've forgotten, Autobot Commander Ironhide. So, shout out, thumbs up, how you doing, man? He's just asked a couple of little questions about things like tightening joints. And it's not like I'm some kind of voodoo expert and I know how to do these things, but I'm just going to give... well, I've dug out a figure that needs its joints tightening, so I'll go over that as we get to it, but I'll do the review as normal up until then. So on that note, here we go. Transformers Prime Soundwave. As soon as I saw this figure, which I think I saw before I saw the model in the series, I was like, yeah, this is terrible. This is one of those little Predator drones, little unmanned things. They're skinny, they're tiny. This is rubbish. This is awful. It's nothing like the original Soundwave. Why am I looking at this thing? And for some reason this top bit isn't clipping together properly today. Every other day it's been fine. Today, no. It's just like, wow, this is awful. And then you get him in hand, and it's actually kind of neat. It's not, it's an unusual design. The transformation's kind of interesting. It's not fantastic by a long stretch. Just, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's really skinny. A couple of holes through it. And for some reason this isn't clipping together. Your mileage may vary because it normally clips together, but today it doesn't want to, because it's in front of the camera. And yeah, I mean, people have pointed out that kind of looks like an eye, and this kind of looks like a beak. And when you consider that you can open this, it's a bit weird. It's not supposed to be a bird as far as I know. But yeah, it's kind of stupid. There's a little flip out landing gear here. Nah. And I've dropped something. Hooray! But then there's no landing gear further back, so that's kind of pointless. Whatever. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There's not much to say about the vehicle mount. I mean, it's got a little jet engine at the back, which doesn't really look like anything, so that's not very interesting. Yeah, this mode's very lackluster. It's nice that they've got it, but So, transformation. What we're going to do is, the wing pieces here tab into there. So that big slot there. So you untab that. And you untab that. When you bring them on this double hinge up, you should fold the wings down as far as they can. Bring it up and sort of stick it in there. And it will sort of tab into place. Got to kind of go over this ridge here. So, wing forward, bring it back, and there you go, into place. Then you get that, which is a cooler jet. No. Kind of looks like Thunderbird 1, which is really lame. Right. Then we turn it over, and hey look, it's the robot mode. I will say one thing, the wings turn into the arms is actually very cool. So we'll do that now. You basically just flip this piece over, and it kind of pegs in there. Just about see that. It's that little C grip. Then it's on like double hinge and swivel there. And it's on a hinge and swivel here. So you untab it from the back of the sort of shoulder piece there. So I'm not 100% sure it tabs somewhere, but it does sort of grip onto there. So you can't just pull it loose. Yeah, you pull it around and you get his sort of weird spindly kind of arms. Fair enough. Let's make Soundwave look different. Fans will love that. They did. To be fair, they really did. So yeah, there it's done. What do you think? No. we'll do the head piece first, and that's basically you just fold this whole piece up, fold out the head, fold this in. Now the first time I had this, I'm convinced it was on the wrong way around, and it kept popping off. So I just turned around, shoved it back in, and it's worked. So if you get it and this keeps popping off, just try turning it around. It's only on like a friction hinge kind of thing, so it shouldn't be trouble. Close that back up, and hey look, it's the head. Kind of wobbly. And the head is basically just like a stretched out, elongated version of the Decepticon symbol, if you like that sort of thing. There's a slight hinge in the body there to make him look all hunched and stuff. Isn't that interesting? Then we get to the legs, which is where the problems really start. We'll split them first of all, because they seem to want to split anyway. They're supposed to hold together with these pieces here, clip into each other, and then these clip into there. These wanted to clip, where they sort of peg together here wanted to clip, but these two pieces were like, no, we've had an argument, we're falling out, we're not touching each other. No, we're not having it today. Lover's tiff. So, we got this thing. Now you think, you fold that down, that's a heel, and that's your toe. Perfectly reasonable Transformer foot. But no, you'd be wrong, because there's another hinge here. So this bit goes all the way up onto the back, and this folds around, and that's the heel, and this piece comes down to become the toe. So let's do it the way that you would normally think, oh, well, that makes a foot, that's common sense. So you get that, which kind of looks like a foot, compared to that, which looks like more of a foot, but then you got this big lump hanging off the back of it. So what's going on there? So we'll fold that up on the back as it's supposed to be. Is that far enough? Nope. I'll bring it down. And you'll know it's far enough because there's that little lump there. The thumb is that. Bring it to, stop, and then you got to push it past. That stops it just falling down. And then this is where it gets weird. Because his knees are hinged there, hinged there. And technically, you're supposed to have him sort of bird-legged, sort of a la whirl, a la the program. Apparently he walks bird-legged. You're supposed to have him like that. And you can't see any of this, so I'll do this side and I'll show you. And there's these little hinges in the thighs, so you can bring his legs out a bit and then just kink it down a bit. It's very, very little, but it's just to give him a slightly wider stance, sorry. And you get that. Which isn't terrible, but, you know, I really don't like the chicken knees. I don't see the point in it. But what you can do is you can just keep it straight, and then, if need be, you only get that much kind of knee, but you can just have his legs straight. There's no need to chicken leg him. So, that's my personal preference. I prefer to have the legs straight. That's me. There you go. And he's a very, 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 I mean, look how thin these arms are. Very thin figure. But in the series, he was actually incredibly tough. Especially when you factor in that he controlled the ground bridge at will, wherever he wanted. That fight when he was fighting with Wheeljack, and he just hammered him. I've got a lot of respect for him. When Arachnid had a go at him, and he just basically just grabbed her and slammed her to the floor. She's like, no, you will do as I say. He is incredibly powerful. So he's got the ground bridge. He's a lot stronger than he looks, a lot stronger. He's got the weird sort of anime tentacle things, which I'm not particularly keen on, which this doesn't do, which is a good thing. There's probably some upgrade kit you can get from someone somewhere. But he's also got, which I've been dancing around, this piece here. And what you gotta do with that, see, loose. You gotta bring these down, then just pull it out. And then his chest's a little bit hollow, but it's passable still. End up with this, which is supposed to be Laserbeak. And yes, see that little red eye? I added that myself because it didn't have one. But still, little drone fella, you know, little thing. It's nice enough, it's not bad. You can kink the arms and stuff and get it to... See, these holes are like 5mm ports as far as I know. I haven't actually tried. You can get them to like sit in there. If the arm will have it. Hey look, I'm holding Laserbeak. Look how cool that is. So he's kind of neat in his own little way. He is very neat. I'm not going to say he's a terrible figure, but, you know. The Beast Hunters version of this, which, as far as I can tell, is just horrible, horrible remold. They did something with the wings, so basically you now can't put his arms straight because there's stuff sticking off. One way or the other, as far as I know. And instead of Laserbeak, he comes with Ravage. Which would be the only reason I'd consider picking him up, just so I can have Ravage as well. But I never did, because it looked horrible. But considering Laserbeak's out of the way and all the rest of it, let's just have a look. You can deploy Laserbeak in the plane mode as well. I was just avoiding it, because I wanted it to be like big reveal, but whatever. Okay, so we're going to try and tighten up some joints. I'll have to show you in the next review how that goes on, but I won't do anything extra to what I'm already going to do in this video. Or if I do, I will tell you. But all I'm going to do is, I've got cheap and... This is a cheap and nasty brand of floor polish in this... in the UK. This cost me less than £1. Okay? Nothing special, and I've got an old paintbrush where the tips come off. And if you can see how glossy that is, that's from lots and lots of floor polish that's just dried up on it. You can clean them and stuff if you want, but I'm lazy and a bit of a slob. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the lid off this and identify where we want it. So that ball joint's a bit loose. This shoulder piece is very loose. These hinges in here to do the sort of wing transformation, they're loose. The neck joint, supposed to have a spring on it. I'm not sure what that's for, but that's incredibly loose. That's loose. The legs aren't bad. I don't mind the legs. Mainly the arms and these. Well, it's basically the upper body. So let's get ready for me to drip everywhere because I've got it at a distance rather than right next to me. So you got to find out where the base of the joint is, like that. You see there? And you just get yourself some floor polish. Should probably shaking this up first, but whatever. And you just put it into the gap. And I want to put some on this bit as well, which this bit's not that loose, but I'll put it on anyway because it doesn't hurt. And then you work on to make sure it goes as far as you want it to go. Might put some more on that because it does seem very, very loose. Basically, if you put it on and just leave it, it will go where it is and dry. But if you want it to cover everywhere where it might articulate to, you need to move it so it'll cover all of that. Okay, so that should do it. You don't have to do much, it's just as long as it does get everywhere, you should probably be fine. You know, it's a liquid, it will quite evenly distribute. I wanted some in that ball joint anyway, so that's fine. It does dry relatively clear, so it shouldn't be a big issue if you drip it somewhere you didn't intend. I just want to put some in this mushroom cap here. It's very loose, and I accidentally got some in that ball joint, but I wanted some in that ball joint anyway. So I'm going to give that a quick wriggle, make sure that's gone everywhere. It's really not rocket science, it's really not. It's very, very simple. So this side's pretty much done. I don't think any of these were that bad, so I won't bother. Do the same with this lot. It's as simple as this. Then I leave it pretty much overnight. Just, you know, do it, leave it about 8 hours or so. Should be fine. And like I say, it will dry mostly clear. I can't swear to it being perfectly clear. I'm not gonna be that guy. It'll go, oh no, I know exactly what I'm doing. Oh yeah, no, it'll definitely do that. Your floor polish might not dry as perfectly clear as this. Most of it should. Pledge, I believe, is the go-to, but I'm a bit poor, and this was the only one I found at the time. Cost less than £1, leave me alone. Didn't they? Massive blob going to that one. See that there? And you just give it a wriggle. It'll work its way into all the gaps. How the floor polish works is basically, it's like water with a bit of wax, and you put it in there and it goes into all the gaps, the cavities, any holes that there were, and then it dries because the water evaporates and the wax remains, and then the wax fills up all the gaps and thus tightens the ball joint or the mushroom cap, or frankly anything. I've used this on model kits, on like poly caps. I've used it on those to tighten them up and it's worked. Let's try and get this neck bit. Put some of this in the spring. That's got to be a good idea. That can't possibly go wrong. I'm an idiot. Show it in the back there. Show it through. Show it in the back there. Show it through. Just like I say, any way you want it to have, where to articulate, make sure you covered it with. Make sure you covered it with a floor polish. So that's done. That's done. Want these? No, they're all right. They should be fine. Not worried about them. Ball joint, polycast, neck. The ball joint's alright. I'll do a bit in this waist, just because I'm here. Why not? Just try and put it in there. I just wriggle it a bit. Pardon me. And there you go. It's as simple as that. Do I want to put some on Laserbeak? He's got a bit loose. Nah, he'll be fine. And that's it. That's literally all you have to do. Just do that, let it dry. If it's a ball joint or something and you can, like I dropped Starscream. Let's just see if I can pop this off. Yeah. You see that looks a little bit dusty? I put a thin layer of super glue around it. You can probably see some just in the thigh there, the white. Just put a thin layer of super glue on it. Very, very thin. Let it dry. Pop it on. And that's tight. Things like this, where you can't take it apart as easily, you got to do the floor polish. But these, if you can pop a ball joint off, let it dry, and pop it back on, go for it. I was going to have a couple of examples of where I've tried using glue like that, where you just drip it into the joint and wriggle it and wriggle it and wriggle it, and it's not a good idea. I got away with it once, but it almost melted the plastic. Have I got that lying around somewhere? No. Okay. But yeah, no, I almost melted the joint. My Generations Rhinox, I was trying to tighten his hip. That's before I realised this stuff worked, or about it at all. I put a drop in there and I wriggled, drop of super glue, wriggle, 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 wriggle. Did it for like 10-15 minutes. Seemed fine. Left it overnight, went to pick it up, solid. I almost sobbed. So I got some nail polish remover. Again, about £1. Yeah, I put loads in it. Nail polish remover's got, I believe it's acetone, and that will melt super glue, basically. So I put a load of that in there, and I wriggled and, like jiggle, jiggle, jiggle until it started to vaguely move. And I thought I was just going to, just shear it straight off. But eventually it gave, and I just kept wriggling until I could pull it out, cleaned it up a little bit, stuck it back together, floor polish, and it's been fine since. But, so like I say, if you're very brave, you can use glue. You can take things apart, coat them with glue, let them dry, and then put them back together. They'll be a lot tighter. But that's not always an option. So, be careful, children. Don't do stupid things, okay? If you get anything soft plastic that's bent, use not necessarily boiling hot, but use hot water. Leave it in there as long as you need to. It'll soften. You can put it back into place. Now, either put it into cold water or just let it cool down, and hopefully it'll stay in that way. Okay? So this is a quick review of this guy and a couple of little fixed tutorials for anyone who wasn't sure. Mainly Autobot Commander Ironhide. Odo. And yeah, so have fun, and I shall see you in the next one, possibly tomorrow, to see how this has gotten on. Because you saw how loose some of these joints were as I was doing it, so I don't need to make that up. Anyway, this has been 20 odd minutes of a very quick review and then lots of rubbish. So, I should be ugly, I should be wretched, and I shall see you, hopefully with the fixed results, next time. Bye-bye.